what's the core life structure in which you have found perhaps the most struggle? You know, health, wealth, work, relationships, spiritual development, personal development. What's that core life structure that you found you struggle the most with? Now you may say, I struggle with them all, man, I'm a hot mess. And that's fine. But there's something that probably stands out more. Let's say it's finances or it's health. It's almost never about the structure itself, right? If it's a money issue, it's rarely actually about money. It doesn't mean you can't be a good steward of that and that you haven't and aren't being initiated to be an apprentice of that area, but there's something even deeper. The things about, let's say, money, when you really excavate it and look at it, it's usually more about freedom. Could be about security. Could be about feeling in control, i.e., safety versus not safe. Does this make sense? That's what it's really about. That's actually what we're being called, trying to get our attention to, but we're often taught and conditioned that we have to purchase that inner state through some outer condition. If I just get enough money or deal with my money stuff, then I will finally be at peace. Then I will finally feel free. Then I will finally feel secure, right? And that's absolutely false. Show me how putting money in your pocket or your bank account, where does it excrete the quality and energy of freedom and power and safety and security? It has nothing to do with it. If I called you up and said, you've just won the lottery, you got $10 million. You're gonna go, oh my God, suddenly all these endorphins are released, all this joy and power, your mind will open up, you'll open up to the possibility, yes, I can live my life's vision now, and you'll feel the truth of it, right? And then I call you up a few minutes later, oops, sorry, wrong person. Now you're gonna suddenly feel really, really crappy, right? But you never had the money to begin with, so you didn't lose anything. Does that make sense? It's all an inside job. Now, again, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be a good steward of structures and you don't need to master certain structures, because remember, that's the masculine. That's why Jesus said you cannot put new wine in old wineskins, because the wineskin is old and brittle, it'll crack open, you'll lose all that good wine. And clearly the guy liked to drink, he might have had a problem. So the structure is not to be served. And when you think it's about the money, what are you doing? You're serving the outer condition, the outer structure. You're trying to save your little life. You're trying to hold on to something. Those outer goals are trying to point you to a soul goal, to the real goal, to the second stage of the journey. Whereas like, I gotta get enough money, be smart enough, and then I'll feel confident and powerful and worthy and lovable, and everything will be great, right? It doesn't end up being that way. You're a hamster on a treadmill. If you're lucky, that's best case. Worst case is you're always striving for a horizon line that you never meet. And not only do you not feel more peaceful and more joyful, no matter how much money or whatever you get, you actually feel more frustrated, more anxious, more depressed, and at any moment, the other shoe can drop. Make sense? When you realize what it's really about, oh, it's a state of peace, it's a state of joy, it's a state of confidence, it's a state of worthiness, well-being, safety, security. Now I can just go for the thing I actually want, because out of all 7+ billion people, there is not a single human being on the planet that's going for anything but a state of being, of oneness, of unity, of connection, of full aliveness. And we all have our unique portals of transformation. What I want to do now, is everybody clear on this? Anybody have any questions about this basic idea? Yes. Stand up. Sit down, put your left foot in, put your right foot out. Okay.
Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Can it shift your life? Like, for example, you're saying focus on one thing, but what if it shifts along the way?
What looks like a lot of different problems and a lot of different areas, you'll start to whittle it down. Boom, 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 boom. It's just really about a core thing. And then like the roots, it spreads out into the branches, and the fruits bear fruit according to the roots. So if security or self-worth is an issue, you'll see that showing up around a lot of different areas. And it can take time. You may or may not get all the way down to the bottom, but this is where you're heading, to where your life is really not that complicated. It's like, again, like a great story. It's very simple. If you live your truth, no matter what, you will achieve greatness. And then they layer on top of that a particular culture, a particular scenario. Maybe it's a spy, maybe it's a mother with her dying child or her sick child, maybe it's a relationship issue. But at the core, it's just the protagonist is on a journey to try to not live their truth, but then eventually to live their truth. And as they do, they get the thing they always wanted when they're willing to lose the outer for the inner. And in the end, you feel, I want to have more courage in my life. Your life has a simple fundamental premise. That's what we're working our way to. Now, what I want you to do is you want to look at this next page, my core issue on page 19, examples of my core issue. You want to write out what might be that core area or life structure. Again, you might have many, and you can always go back. So look at that particular issue. Let's say it's, for example, wealth. I never have enough money. I can't do what I really want to do because of money. I feel trapped in my relationship because my spouse makes the money. Anybody trapped because of their spouse? Don't answer if your spouse is in the room. So you want to just notice if it's that. And then you want to look at other examples throughout your life, because you've been doing some of that excavation earlier, where that same issue arises. Like you might notice, I currently struggle with money in my marriage, but as I reflect, I see that I also struggled with it in college, in a past relationship, with asking for a raise at a previous job, taking a job only for money. I know nobody in here has ever done that. Stealing money as a kid, cheating on my taxes, whatever. That's the money issue. Or you might find relationship issues. It's everywhere. And again, I know a lot of us have challenges in all these areas, or to some extent, but for the sake of this, you want to find what's the one that really has dogged you the most. As you're just thinking about this area of struggle, this core area, this core life structure, what does this issue make you think about yourself? I don't have enough. I'll never have enough. I'll never be enough. So you're discovering the thoughts, the storylines, the beliefs. Just allowing for free writing. It's right there, closer to you than you're thinking. What does this core issue make you think about yourself? I am blank, or I'm not blank. And what does this core issue make you feel about yourself? It makes me feel unworthy, powerless, inadequate, stupid, etc. What does this core issue make you feel about yourself? There's never enough. There's never going to be enough. I'll never make it. What does this core issue in this structure make you believe about your life? So you're looking at this core issue and you're asking, what does it make me think about myself? What does it make me feel about myself? What does it make me think or believe about my life? What does it make me feel about my life? And you'll hear things like, there's not enough, I'm not enough, there'll never be enough, I'll never make it. So look over those again and just staying in your heart and in your body. See what bubbles up there. What are the feelings? And if you notice there's numbness there, there's just nothing there, then you can start there. It makes me feel numb. And right where that numbness is, there's a lot of feeling. And if you just sit with it, don't push it, just feel the numbness and ask that numbness to speak. If this numbness could speak, what would it say? I'm afraid to feel. I don't want to feel, whatever. So you can ask into those feelings to hear more of the story. And then as you're continuing just to wash over that and let those come out, pour yourself out onto the page, what other areas of your life do you think or feel this way? As you reflect over this issue, how this issue makes you feel about yourself and life. I feel unworthy, I feel inadequate, I feel insecure, I feel alone, I'm never going to make it, it's never going to work out. Now as you start to look at other areas where you struggle, you can do the same process and go, what's that struggle about? How does that struggle make me feel about myself? What does it make me think about myself, feel about life, think about life? And you'll start to see some recurring patterns. So you're looking, what other areas of your life do you feel this way? Think about the other structures. Do I feel this way in my relationships ever? Do I feel this way in professional environments? Do I feel this way when it comes to my body, to my finances, to whatever? And just take a moment to excavate that, just to begin to see where else these core thoughts or beliefs, these core patterns are showing up. You're doing amazing, you guys. Your focus, it's beautiful. Just continue to breathe and open. Know that wherever you hit a seeming blind spot, you feel stuck, just breathe and open to it. Don't push it. Every moment is necessary. If you feel a blind spot, be with that. Ask into that. What is the feeling there? What is it saying? If it's a numb place, if you get frustrated, why can't I feel? Why don't I get an answer? Be with that. And then you might notice, where else do I always feel frustrated that I don't get the right answer? Do I often feel like I don't get the right answer? That's a clue to your life code. That's a clue